I think my internet just cut out there. My sincerest apology. It wasn't my intention. Oh, of course it's not my intention, but we are back to the regular viewers. Now we enter the race once again. Hopefully I haven't missed too much, and hopefully you guys watching haven't missed too much either. Yeah, internet's not the greatest for me. I'm not sure why. I think obviously with the whole lockdown, internet's being used a lot more than it's pretty much ever been. We go back into the race. Smurfin now sets fastest lap. So I think he might have came back, because now we have to quickly put on all the telemetry back on. Oh wait, no, Danny's done fastest lap. That's Banky. Immediately as I come back, Banky gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. As mentioned with WM, that would be for banging tyres a bit too much, or just going that little bit too wide and, you know, being a bit too big for their boots with track limits. As we get a yellow sector 2, trying to see who that is. I think it might have been Solar and James there. Not 100% sure, but I think the yellow flag was through the hairpin, and those guys are the closest to the hairpin. Where is it? There we go. As Danny, now that we're back, Danny has improved his gap. It's a much more healthier 3.6 second lead. So say Danny gets a 3-second penalty, he will still, he will still be able to lead the race. And if it were to stay like that throughout the race, he would win by 7/10. Unfortunately, with 3-second penalties on this game, you can't serve them in the pitch. You can only serve 5 and 10-second penalties, and obviously drive-through penalties. As Danny now breaks it into the 4-second mark, so he's very much, the car in control, and the one who's looking like the most comfiest. Rossi gets a 3-second penalty. Another one who's fallen victim. Obviously, I think if the penalty were to be applied at the end of the race and everything were to stay the same, as mentioned with the example of Danny, he would be fine. He'd stay in that P9, as he does have the gap to WM. Just going back here, it's definitely now a battle, by the looks of it, for P2 in this race. As I think Danny's going to come across the line now, and now we are into the double digits. We are now on to lap 10, as Danny does set fastest lap by, I think, a tenth and a half there. So finding the grip and, really being able to take advantage of his ERS and his fuel. So looking very confident. It's not, so far, I don't think no damage has happened, or no sort of crash or significant spin to cause a safety car or a VSC. Very clean race so far, which is very good for the Tier 1 boys. If you watched the Tier 2 race yesterday, many penalties. I raced in Tier 2, and I can't say it was the greatest. I think, as you've seen today, I've been having connection issues, which isn't ideal. If I'm running in a good position and then just cut out, my AI has to do it. And the AI on here, I think they're set at about 40 out of a possible 110. So you're not, you'll lose positions, and your AI usually ghosts. So people can just go straight through you and lose little to no time. Nothing, I think, broken. Yellow flag sector 2. I think that, Solar's off there. By the looks of it, the front wing's still on, and no significant puncture. I think that's the first spin we've been able to catch on the stream, other than Mods. Was it Banky? It was one of those two. As Lord Gamer sets fastest lap, so he might be the man on the mission now. Very good lap. Have a quick look. So his lap is only 700. Yeah, 700's quicker than Danny's. If you can see the, fastest lap gap between them all, it is very tight. I think the lowest being a 1:43.9. As Lord Gamer gets that 3-second penalty, where the 3 drivers before him have fallen victim to. It is hard to be quick and not get penalties. You will find that in league racing, I think when you're always pushing, it is inevitable that you will just go that little bit wider. But so far, a lot of them, nobody's pit yet, so everybody's happy on their tyres. And Monster's done fakey here as Solar gets a 3-second penalty. Another person has fallen victim to the 3-second penalty syndrome. As Fakey now, I think he's in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich here. If Banky tries anything daring, no, I don't think he will into Spoon. But he is still, as Danny now takes fastest lap back from Lord Gamer for this lap. As EDMG EDMG is in. Gonna try that undercut on cars ahead, get the fresh rubber with those wets. Comes in, I don't think any sort of front wing change needs to be done. In, out. Where will he come out? About, let's have a look. As WM, I think, gets another 3-second penalty there. So that's 6 seconds of penalties he will have to take at the end of the race. Comes out P9. Is he ahead of FIFA Legend? Yes, he is. By about 4 seconds, so comfy margin to him and FIFA Legend. So EDMG will be on a bit of a rampage. Obviously running about P5, so going to try and get the gap on Bloken and PW as those, and Felipe, sorry. Going back to the leaders, Danny's just pulled away. 5.8 seconds now between him and Felipe. He has just not stopped pushing. Very impressive from Danny. Obviously, maybe if, say, PWW or Bloken were to get past Felipe, it would be interesting to see how they'd fare. With a catch Danny, would they, stay the same or lose even more time? Some cars might come in. Maybe Edward has triggered a bit of an understop. Slakey gets a 3-second penalty. As Bloken in, so EDMG Edward has been able to trigger Bloken to come in just that little bit more early. I think EDMG was just one position behind Bloken, so has he been able to do the undercut? Yeah, more cars are coming in. Rossi and CRL Wizard comes down the straight. He's going to use up all of his ERS down the straight to try and get ahead of Bloken. There's Bloken, there's EDMG. Has he done it? No, he just couldn't. But I think these two are going to push and try and get ahead of PWW here. Get into those podium positions. Lord Gamer has been able to take advantage of those pit stops. Now back up into P4 for the first time this race. My sincerest apologies. Yeah, it's definitely still very tight. I think Danny will be able to, say, breathe a sigh of relief because he won't have to pit until he wants to. And given that the flash came up to say, pit windows open for all the drivers, Danny might come in now, might go for a lap longer. Yeah, it is, 6.4 seconds. Danny's done very well this race. Will he come in though? I think he is. Oh no, he's staying out. Okay. Danny feels like he can go a little longer onto those tyres as we have Felipe in. Now, what has Woken and EDMG been able to do? Have they been able to jump him? What's going on here? This will be very tight. Now, those two round 130R comes into the final sector. Through the chicane, the right, the left, then the long right-hander. Have they been able to do Felipe here? If we go on board with Felipe, he comes out the pits now. Has Woken or EDMG been able to do him? I think Woken and Felipe are having a bit of a fight here. It's very tight. I think Felipe just gets ahead. Very, very tight between the P2 to P5. So I think when PWW pits, I think that will be a lot more tighter. I think he'll come out, I reckon, in between Woken and EDMG. It has been very action-packed throughout. As I think a driver must have gotten a 3-second penalty at some point. I think it might have been Rossi. I wasn't quite able to catch up. I've been too busy looking at this very, very eventful battle for P2, as I think the Felipe is catching PWW here. Obviously, Felipe was ahead of him anyway, but it's Woken and EDMG you want to watch out for here. And Lord Gamer's really been able to close up to this gap. So it's now, as Tokyo drifts around that corner, Danny goes quicker again. Still out on those wets, so he is very comfortable on them. As PWW stays out as well. 15 laps. 14 laps they've been able to do on those wets as they enter lap 15. Yellow sector 2, I think that might have been one of the Red Bulls, yeah. Banky just gets passed by Fakey on the straight there. Yeah, it's staying about the same between Felipe and PWW, so maybe those tyres aren't working as well as Felipe would like, you know, with the fresh rubber. Obviously we did see this in qualifying where people would fuel up for multiple runs and then just stay out for 3-4 laps to push and take advantage of the track gripping up. That could be, and is most likely, what's going to be Danny and PWW are doing. 21.6 seconds behind. EDMG's fallen back a little. Lord Gamer is falling back a little with EDMG. You do have to bear in mind, obviously, Lord Gamer has that 3-second penalty. 4 track limits. So far, this has been actually a very exciting race to commentate, as I think, do we have Connor back? We do! Danny's in. Yeah, thanks for that. But no, we want to what we want to do is we want to watch Felipe, PWW, Woken, EDMG, and Lord Gamer. As we now ride on board with Felipe. I think Felipe will definitely get out ahead of PWW. Woken possibly, EDMG slightly. As Mods get another 3-second penalty there. As now out comes PWW. That is Felipe ahead. Woken hasn't been able to do it. So Felipe now looking good on that fresh rubber. Obviously he wasn't quite able to take advantage on his lap out. Obviously you're going to have to warm up your tyres on that lap. So Lord Gamer, I think Lord Gamer must have fallen back. So now he's 10 seconds behind EDMG. He was within a second. As Woken gets a 3-second penalty. The man who could get a podium possibly has just slipped through his hands. Very unfortunate for him there. Yeah, so far, Connor, it has been a very good race. I think Danny's just pulled away throughout the majority of it. He's literally left everybody in his dust. That's all right. No, that's all right. Yeah, I thought that's what the mystery man was. I think it's been very tight from P2 to, well, it was P6, but obviously your gamer spun. No sign of a safety car so far, unless P2 to P5 there's a bit of a calamity, you know. But at this stage of the race, would you want to pit onto fresh rubber or would you just stay out? Obviously, I don't think there's this. Has he done it? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does get, I think he's got about 9 seconds of penalties there. No, he has 14 seconds of penalties, so the man who's achieved the record here, most penalties in this race so far. Bloken, Lord Gamer, Rossi, as Danny sets fastest lap. Mods, Stakey, Solar and Banky all have 3-second penalties, and obviously WM with that big, chunky 14-second penalty. I think Banky's been actually the only person to stop twice. I think he got a bit of damage. Obviously, he qualified P9 on the grid, so he has fallen back, bless him. No, Danny's just pulling away once again. I think that was about 6.4 seconds. It's now just about to go into 8 seconds. He has done nothing but dominate this race so far. And it's looked like, I don't want to put commentator's curse on it, but I do think Danny will be able to take the win here. Yeah, he has. He did go a fair bit longer than a lot of people. I think EDMG Edwards, when I think he triggered the pit stops, he pitted about lap 11, maybe a little later, like lap 12, lap 13. But he was the one who triggered the pit stops. Because then Woken came in as we have a yellow sector 1. I think Solar just spun there. Oh, I haven't actually ridden on board with anybody yet. Let's have a look. Go on board with let's go on board with PWWE as the closest to Felipe at the moment. He's running 6th gear through the first corner. That's how much he's struggling with traction. I think everybody is going to be struggling with traction though. Felipe's running 5th. He's been PWW's stayed through 6th throughout the whole of this first sector so far. Obviously rather straight and the first braking zone. So really trying to use the high gears to his advantage as he does go quicker in the first sector. His personal best, not the fastest lap so far though. Who has fastest lap? Is it Danny? Yeah. There's a little bit of a lock up there. But he is still right there behind Felipe. Yellow sector 3, is that Solar again? I think it was. Yeah, he's spinning, he's coming into the pit, sorry. As he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, so he's been struggling all race. Going back on board though with PWW, as you can see, he is closing down on the straight. Will he try anything? I don't think he will, but he is there. As FIFA Legend gets a 3-second penalty, there is a yellow sector 2. Now cleared, oh no, it's back. It's Rossi. And then I think Banky had a bit of a slip there. Yeah, Rossi's fallen right back. Yeah, so Solar comes out the pits now. That's not going to be ideal. As PWW gets a 3-second penalty, just runs a little wide. Keeping on board with him there, I think he just got a bit spooked by the Renault of Solar coming out. Didn't know if he would ghost or not, so he had to go a little wider. He did ghost. So he now has a 3-second penalty. Yellow sector 1. That is Solar again. Solar's been struggling all weekend. Yeah, he's been disqualified. Solar's been disqualified from the session. First retirement and disqualification of this race. See him pull up. Will this trigger a safety car of some sort? As he's on the safe part of the track. You get a yellow sector 1 and sector 3. Rossi's retired as well. We could get a potential safety car here. This could fall into the hands of a lot of... Okay, so maybe not a safety car, which is a shame. In a safety car could... is that from Danny? I think, is PWW going to try anything there? No. I think EDMG is in a very prime position, to put it, to say the least. You know, he's currently P5, obviously the Williams ahead of him have those 3-second penalties. So as long as he's able to keep 3 seconds on both of them, EDMG's looking good. Quickly go back onto broadcast camera. I've been running TV pod for a while to give your eyes a bit of a different view. Rossi's now left the session. Obviously, he's been struggling all day. I think, what is there? PWW still, you know, like Felipe doesn't really need to worry, because if PWW just does get ahead, it is unlikely for him to get out of that 3-second window for his penalty. As I think there's a bit of a battle between Fakey and CER Wizardi. They're running side by side as they enter, or as they're about to enter Spoon. I think Fakey is ahead though. Yeah, CER Wizardi does duck back out. Oh wait, no, hold on. Wizardi's gotten back ahead. I think Fakey might have had just a snap of oversteer and lost it. Been a very, obviously, given that this is my second time commentating, it's been exciting. Obviously the race hasn't been brilliant, but I've certainly enjoyed it. Woken's. Damn, so if Danny gets this P1 and EDMG gets this P3, and if Danny can keep that fastest lap, that will reduce the points gap to a measly 4 points. Just make it just that little bit more tighter. Personally, I think USA is one of my more least favourite tracks. I think it's very inviting, that's the right word, to go just a little bit more wider. The same as Silverstone, obviously, last round. But, it's not an ideal track. FIFA Legend gets ahead of WM there. Who says WM? Flaky behind. Oh yeah, he does go very wide there. Yellow sector 3, I think that's... that mods? I think it is, yeah, it's mods. Is he now just going to get eaten on the straight? His rears are going to be like... WM has a massive snap of oversteers. I think Fakey just tapped Mods' rear. Fakey loses some position. Does he get front wing damage? By the looks of it, his front wing is still intact. I think he could be able to do something here. He is close enough, I reckon he could do something. As he is. I think he is, yeah, he's going to try and swoop around the outside to take provisional P2. He's still going to hold it. He's going to hold P2. Has Felipe now subsides and PWW is up into P2. This is not going to be ideal for EDMG. As that now promotes... yeah, that promotes PWW up into P2. Felipe now into P3. Very, very good move. Very determined move from PWW. Obviously, Felipe fought it to the best of his ability, but snatches it with 3 laps to go. Obviously, indeed they do. So, I think... right now, if obviously times and whatnot stays the same, I think EDMG will take P3 and Felipe in P2. Unless PWW's been or will be able to just pull away. Right now, it looks like he's comfortably, as Banky's retired from this session. A safety car. We're going to have a literal sprint race, 1 lap to the end. Oh my, oh my. Yeah, I'd stay out, as Danny does. This is not going to help the Williams boys of Woken and PWW. I think, what, so it came out lap 24. We'll stay out for 25, we'll probably come in for 26. As Mods gets a 5-second penalty to have a severe collision with James MW. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe does, yeah, I think James MW has front wing damage. I think for the sake of the race, I'd stay out because I think 3 cars ahead of him do have penalties. And if they can't get those removed, then I think he should be in a good position. beaten. Has he? Oh, yeah. Bakey comes in. But I think everybody's now caught up to the safety car. We are going to have a 1 lap push to the end. Yeah. Hello, sorry. I don't know what you missed there, but yeah, I said pretty much what you were saying. I think for Felipe and EDMG, all they need to do is just sit back and hope that they're within 3 seconds. But then, in doing that, they could drop back from 3 seconds. You could either take the easy way or the hard way. You could just happily take P3 or risk it and get P2. Now we approach the final lap of this race. Danny has, unless commentator's curse comes into it, Danny has done nothing but just dominate this race. As he does go wide and PWW sends it down the inside, but Woken is going to fight it, gets back ahead. That just gives Danny just an even bigger lead despite the safety car coming in. Yeah, Danny does have the same red warning. Oh, as Lord Gamer does go very wide there. He runs onto the grass instead of the tarmac there. Not something you want to do there, buddy. Yeah, it's only sensible as Danny is going to come through now, the final corner. He's done nothing but dominate this race, but he comes across the line in P1 and takes victory in a soaking, fastest lap as well, in a soaking wet Japan. ERM Felipe in P2, as if you look, looks like there might have been a bit of carnage. ER and Felipe, well, it wouldn't be a TRL race if there was a... So yeah. Right, so then, the official rundown is TRL Danny with first place, Felipe P2, EDMG P3, Woken P4, PWW P5, Lords Gamer P6, Duffy's P7, CER Wizardi P8, FIFA Legend 123 P9, and James MW in P10 rounding off the top 10. WM, oh, okay, damn it, I didn't have enough time. Yeah, obviously you sort of like cutting in and out of qualifying in the race. What do you take of that? Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Danny, I think Danny got the Grand Slam there. He led every lap. He got fastest lap and obviously won and got pole position. Danny just did nothing but dominate that race. So fair play to man from Finland, that's it. Right, where was I? I just rounded off the top 10. So, Fakey P11, WM P12, to Smurfin P13. I think he had a connection issue. Mods P14, obviously retired right at the end, giving us that last lap, well, last 2 lap safety car. Banky P15, Rossi P16, P17 goes to Solar. Last 4 drivers, I think, all retired at some point. Very good race, very enjoyable, and yeah. What was your takeaway from that? Yeah, right. Might as well round off the stream. Thank you, all 12 people. 12 people who are watching right now. This has been TRL round 13, round a very soggy, very wet Japan. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.